Hey, good evening. It's Pastor Mary. I almost forgot. It is Tuesday, January 11th, the day after the dogs have won the national championship. Congrats to all the dog fans. Nobody's on here yet, but I know those of you who watch later will see me say that. Those of you who know me, know that I'm actually a Georgia Tech fan, because I served as a campus pastor at Georgia Tech and Georgia State for 5 years, from 99 to 04, when I was pregnant with both my boys and had them when I served at Georgia Tech. So our family is a Georgia Tech family, but I totally congratulate the Georgia Bulldogs. Today, everybody in Georgia is a Bulldog, if they want to be. It's kind of like being Irish for the day, right? And it was a great game. We watched the game, and it was really an amazing game. So somebody's on with me, but it's not showing up who it is yet. But whoever's here, good evening. I'm glad you're on here with me. So anyway, so Tuesday, January 11th, the day after the Georgia Bulldogs are national champions. Amazing, amazing. Hey, Cheryl, good evening. Yes, definitely amazing. It was a great game. Wasn't it great? And I know the council president of our church did not have access to watch it, and it's just too bad, because it really was a tremendous game. I mean, I absolutely loved it. I said to my husband, I don't enjoy games that are blowouts, because what fun is that, to have a blowout game? It's great to have a back and forth, but then the Bulldogs really took off that last quarter. And that when they intercepted the ball, man, that was just tremendous. And it was great to see them run down the field, and it was like they were meant to do that. That was just an amazing moment. So great day here in Georgia, and we're all very, very happy. So, all right. Well, Cheryl, thank you for joining me. I've changed glasses for this week because I only wear readers. I have a number of different pairs. I'm just trying these out for tonight. I have my other ones, but I decided, hey, I'm gonna try these out tonight. So, well, I got the Daily Guidepost 2022, thanks to wonderful Sarah Lanier. She sent me this as a gift, and I love this. I've had several years of this, and I find it really a great devotional. If anybody's looking for a devotional for the year and you haven't got one yet, they have really great stories. They're very uplifting. And so anyway, I've caught up because I had forgotten about it when I first got home from our trip. But I wanted to share one. Hey, Claudette, how are you doing? How are you feeling? It's good to have you on here. I'm so glad you're here. So anyway, I read several of the stories, and I wanted to there was one I definitely wanted to share. That is not the one. Let's see. Sorry, I kind of did a blank. I didn't have trouble sleeping because of the game. I know, Cheryl, I think you said you had trouble, but I got a gel shot in my knee. Hey, Paula, I got my first gel shot in my knee, first one in 3 years. On Monday. Good, Claudette. I'm glad you're doing much better. And when I got that, it didn't hurt, but it kind of bothered me, when I went to bed last night, and I just really had trouble getting to sleep. I was up till mid-morning. So anyway, I did a bunch of work today, and then I took a little nap this afternoon, but I was sitting here, I was like, I'm going to watch the ABC News. No, you're not. You got to get off the couch and come do devotions. So anyway, but there was one that really hit me. So like I said, I'm sharing from Daily Guidepost 2022. That was a gift. Let me go back to the beginning. Because I know there was one I really thought was great. Let's see. I think it's this one. Okay, this one is from Monday, January 3rd. And sometimes, I share, if you come on here much, that I share from different sources, different weeks. And So I'll share from this book from time to time, but this is going to be my main devotional book this year. I'll use other devotions too, but anyway, I really like this, thinking about the new year and everything, and so I wanted to read this. So the scripture with it is from John 13:15. It says, I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. And the author, so now the neat thing is they have a picture of every one of the authors on the back of the book. I know it's backwards for you all. But I really like that because then I look at the picture of the writer after I read it. And this is Patricia Lawrence. Yes. And so this is her devotion. Every morning I walk across the street to our huge neighborhood pool where I swim alone for 25 minutes before joining the water aerobics class. Boy, I wish I had a pool close. How nice would that be? I love that I get to exercise for a total of about 2 hours every morning and chat with my women friends. Before I leave the house, I have to remember 5 things. My towel, my key to the pool gate, my water shoes, my sun hat, and my sunglasses. 5 things. I'd forget 1 or 2 if I was in the habit of asking myself, do you have the 5 things before I walk out the door? Hey, Sharon, good evening. Same thing goes for church. I need 4 things for that. My reading glasses, my church contribution envelope, a small notebook, and a pen in my purse. Just in case the priest says something during the homily that I specifically want to remember and ponder later. Every week when I run down my list of things to remember to take out the door, either to the pool or to the church, I also try to remember to prepare my heart. I tell myself, no gossiping at the pool. Be nice to that woman who talks too loud and interrupts the class with her loud laughing. At church, I have to remind myself to stop thinking about what so-and-so is wearing and stop fuming over the fact that the air conditioning is too cold again. The older I get, the more lists and reminders become a part of my life. But the best lists are the ones that keep me squared away with Jesus, whether I'm at the church or at the pool or anywhere else. And the prayer with it is, Jesus, bless all those I come in contact with and help me bless them by being as much like you as I can muster today. Well, I really like that story. I think I like the idea that she knows what she has to take for swimming, but she also knows what she has to take for church, and that she prepares herself. I don't know where I was sharing this sometime in the last few months, but my mom, when I was growing up, would share with me that for them to go to communion on Sunday morning, they would fast from the time they went to bed until they went to Mass and went to communion. And that was just a part of their preparation to go to church. And I think about that because when I grew up, it was supposed to be, what I was told by my mom was, we fast the hour before we go to church. And in fact, on Sundays, we would go to 9 o'clock Mass, and we always had a big breakfast on Sunday afterwards. So we never had anything to eat in the morning. It was just a way to prepare ourselves. But I really like the idea that she not only knows what she needs to take to her class and to church, but she also knows to prepare her heart, that to not let this lady who laughs too loud get to her or bother her. And isn't it interesting, because I think there's, sometimes there's people in our lives and they just irritate us, right? It's not that we don't like them, but they just, their personality or the way they act or the way they talk or, it's just irritating. I mean, it's like to the point that you just kind of grin and bear it when you're around them. And there's times in life where, I don't really have anybody like that in my life. There's nobody I can really think of at this point, that I feel that way about. But occasionally there's somebody, and I just think, okay, I've just, I'm going to do my best to not let them know. And I specifically remember when I was first a pastor, there was actually, a pastor that I really didn't care for. And now I did not work with this person, but they were a colleague, and I had to kind of work with them at one point because of something that happened with a mutual person that we knew. And I remember thinking, that they just really irritated me. Let's just put it that way. And I thought they were kind of condescending and not very nice and everything. But I thought, no, I'm not gonna let how they are irritate me. I'm not gonna let it get to me. And I will say that once or twice I was tempted to kind of either talk about them to other people or not be so nice to them. And I'm really glad I didn't do it. Because what I learned in life is that sometimes you think, oh, I'm never going to have to deal with this person again. I'm never going to see them again. I'm never going to have anything to do with them. So, okay, just, tell them off or do whatever. And what I learned was, well, you don't know that. You may think, oh, I'm never going to see this person again. I'm never going to, that, you just don't know. I mean, so for example, we moved away from here in 2004, went back to the Midwest. Hey, Karen, good evening. And my husband, Dave, and I served a church together for 8.5 years. Came back in 2014. And what happens? I wind up doing interim ministry, and I'm in the circle with this person again. And this time, I like them. Like, they don't irritate me anymore. And I really realized, you got to really think about if it's worth burning a bridge with somebody. You got to really think about, is it really worth telling somebody off or treating them bad? Now, I'm not talking about somebody who's really wronged you. I'm talking about like these people, like somebody who irritates you or, they just get on your last nerve, right? They get on my last nerve. I'm talking about that, I think there's justified anger. I think there's times where people need to be told exactly what they're doing is wrong and it's awful. But I also try to, as much as possible, what I've also learned in life is to not jump on that. Like if I'm really upset, I need to take 24 hours as best I can and calm down and really think about things and then figure out what's really bothering me with somebody. Is it that they're really bothering me? Or is it that I'm just irritated, I'm upset with the situation? What's going on? And I will say, there's some times where I have to call like a customer service person. I don't know if you've ever had that, and something just gone really wrong. And, and I've called and I've been like, you know what? I'm not angry at you. I just want you to know that, but I'm very upset with your company, and here's why. And I try to be really, really clear why I'm upset, what's gone wrong. And generally, most people will respond well to me if I'm not taking it out on them, because it's not their fault that they answered the phone for a company that's done me wrong or not, not taking care of things. But anyway, I really like that she really thinks about, okay, maybe this lady irritates me, or when I go to church, I'm going to do my best not to get involved in gossip. I'm going to do my best not to get involved in, talking about other things. Or I think it's preparing your heart. We prepare our heart for worship. We prepare our heart to come before God. We prepare our heart for the work in the world we have. We prepare our heart for the people in our lives. And I like that. I like that idea, that thinking about it and really saying, okay, how am I going to deal with this? How am I going to be part of the gossiping, or am I going to try to change things and make things better? And I mean, I think most of us could be honest and say that we can be guilty of being a part of gossip at times, or not saying anything and just kind of letting it go on. It's awkward. It doesn't feel comfortable. And we can also be the source, and I know that I really like the idea. Prepare my heart as I go to serve. Prepare my heart as I go to be with people who maybe there's somebody who really irritates me just by, their laugh, their behavior, their, whatever. And it's preparing our heart for God, and how we treat one another. Right? Because really in the end, our faith shows up more in our actions than it does in our words. We can say all the most wonderful words we want to say, but our faith comes down to how we live our life, how we treat other people. Do we love our neighbor as ourselves? Do we look out for each other? Do we care for the person in need? Do we turn the other way? And no, we can't help everybody, but there are times we can make a real difference and be willing to do so. So good story. Good story. Daily Guidepost 2022. Wonderful. I wanted to share a couple things. So I don't think I said this last week, but maybe I did. So my friend Chris Koch, who's a college friend of mine, she had put up that she had started something, and she shared it like before Christmas, and then she shared it in the new year. And I decided, okay, I'm going to do it. So I wanted to show you. I think I mentioned it, but this is my blessings, joys, gratefulness container. And if you see in there, you see pieces of paper already. And yes, it might look like envelopes. I'm recycling, colored envelopes, or envelopes that I've gotten with Christmas cards. I tear up the paper. I put it on here. I put my pen on top. I set it in my kitchen. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with me. We just ate dinner a few minutes ago. Hang on a second. Can't tell if I have hiccups or not, but anyway, so it kind of looks like a butterfly. I took another envelope, and what I've been doing, I was catching up. You can see I have a few papers in there already. And so I write down highlights of the day or things I'm grateful for, and I put them on the paper. Yesterday, a highlight was the UGA game because it was so great, the win. I put that down. Today, I'll probably put down, I had my conference meeting on Zoom where my colleagues and I get together, and it's a very good and supportive group, and I'm very thankful for them. They're really, they're great to talk to and support each other. And so this was an Aldi's pretzel container. Yes, I'm recycling more. The butter twist, my favorite. They only put them out a few times a year. And my husband cut a hole in the top. And this is my blessing 2022. Blessings, joys, gratefulness. And then what you do is at the end of the year, you open it all up and you read all the things you wrote down about your year. So things that I may remember today, in December, I may be like, I'll read that and be like, oh yeah, I remember that happening. Oh, good, Karen. I love that. My cousin said she does hers on Sundays. She said she's grateful that she completed the FAFSA. Yeah, and Matt called and we talked an hour. And you know what? I got to do FAFSA for Samuel for next year. I'm glad you reminded me. And that's something I should be grateful for. Sam went to school yesterday. Right now, 3 of his classes are online. David's put some in here too, which is good because we're trying to put in. He put several in. He had trouble. He kind of got a runaround, but he was able to. He got the CARES Act. His college is using their CARES Act funds they got to help students who ask for it. They get their tuition paid for. He was on the honor roll, the dean's list last semester, so I'm very proud of him. And he was trying to work out his classes because he's changing his major. Because through a new member of our church, whose husband I met and Sam got to meet one Sunday, he found out that there is a computer and animation certificate or associate's degree at Southern Crescent. So anyway, I'm grateful that he's gotten his, I think it looks like he's got his classes worked out and everything's moving forward. And Christopher's now, he isn't counting the days, but he's talking about graduation. Of course, it's January. And last night I purchased his senior pictures. We had gotten them taken, and I got those all taken care of. We won't get them till March or April. But I will, when we do an announcement of his graduation, I will send pictures to many people. They went really well. We did that a few months ago, and he smiled beautifully and took some really good pictures. So anyway, yes. So your gratitude jar, do it once a week, do it every day, do it when you want. That's really what Chris was talking about. You don't have to do it every day, but it's good. Now's a good time to do it. You can start it whenever you want, but now's a good time. Get it ready. Figure out, you may have some lovely paper you want to use. You may not do like me. But she made a good point. You should keep paper and pen with it. That makes it easy for you. If you walk by it, you go, oh, yeah, I wanted to write that down. Because I will confess, I should have done last night. And then today I was like, okay, now what was I going to write down? So I wrote down a couple things, but I forgot about Sam and school. I was going to write that down as a highlight too. So I will have to do that. So prayers for my Aunt Carolyn. For her health, prayers for several friends who are doing chemo and radiation treatment, and several people that I know who are doing that. Prayers for Thanksgiving that Janet Kindred got out of the hospital. I tried to reach her, I couldn't find out, but I'm sure she's recovering at home. Prayers for those dealing with the flu, and those dealing with COVID and the after effects of COVID. I know a pastor friend put up that she had a temperature and didn't know if she has COVID or the flu, but I've heard that on the news that the flu is now going around. We got our flu shot, so I'm very grateful for that. We do not know the status of my family member yet, if they are negative yet or not. They're asymptomatic, but COVID, so I'm working from home. So if you need me, feel free to call or text me or message me. Prayers for those dealing with the after effects of some bad weather we've had this last week. Prayers for those who are in grief for any number of reasons. Prayers for our frontline workers, especially our hospital workers who are so tired and exhausted. Prayers for everyone who's in an ICU for whatever reason. Prayers for those who can't get in the hospital. David has a member who has had some issues and should be in the hospital and can't be because there's no beds available. Prayers that we will get through this again and get to a better place, because I know we're all tired of it. I certainly am. I'm sure you are too. So that's all I could think of for tonight. There is no Wednesday night devotions tomorrow night. Those are on hiatus for 2 weeks. So this is the first Wednesday for that, to take a break. The plan at this time is we will have, oh, hey, Jeannie, good evening, my cousin. I have a cousin from the Schwartz side and a cousin from the Armstrong side. One in Illinois, one in Missouri on here tonight. Good evening, good evening. The plan is we will have worship online only on Sunday, and right now we will have communion drive-through from 11:30 to 12:15. I will be keeping an eye on the weather. They're talking about bad weather coming in on Sunday, but Saturday night, Sunday. But I will watch to see specifically how far it comes down, if it's going to be in Griffin, because if we're going to get a bunch of rain, I don't expect a lot of you will come out. But right now, there is communion on Sunday drive-through 11:30 to 12:15. The COVID task force will meet later this week and have a conversation about worship. I would prefer to be in person with you all, and I hope we can be that way very soon, but I don't know the answer to that yet. So just please pray. And, if you want to grumble about it, feel free to grumble to me. The people who serve on that task force, I'm very grateful for, very thankful for them. And we just try to do the best we can by looking out for everybody, not just ourselves, loving our neighbor as ourselves. So there will be more news coming. So anyway. All right, well, that's it for this evening. If you came on later, I hope you will go back and check out the devotion that I shared tonight. Thank you all for joining me. I pray God is with you in whatever you may be facing and giving you what you need to be able to prepare your heart as I prepare my heart, to care for one another, to not let the small things get to us, and just to hang in there, because really it's winter. And even though winter isn't as bad in Georgia, it's still winter. And, so spring will come, but we're not there yet. This is always, I'm like, okay, January, February, into March, gotta hang in there, because you just never know with the weather. So I hope and pray that you are doing well, that you are staying safe and healthy. And I pray that if you have any prayer requests, please let me know. They can be private, or they can be that I share with the community. But just know that I lift you all up in my prayers. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'll be back on here on Thursday night, and we will have Friday night fun this week. So I will look forward to hopefully seeing you one of those nights. And now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord look upon you with favor and give you peace. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Go in peace. Remember the poor. Serve the Lord. Thanks be to God. Have a great night, everybody, and a great day tomorrow, and good rest for everybody. And yes, we are very happy here about the dogs winning the national champions. It is well deserved. Take care. Good night.